we could have had a PS3 at the house. I was like, yeah, we could have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Super rare, fantastic.
But I was like, you were like 2, bro. It's fine.
It's fine.
Like,
you don't even remember, bro. Like it's all gravy. So you've got 2 kids.
Yeah, I have a boy and a girl. 12 and 10.
12. So like if you're 33, so you had your first kid like 21, 20? 19. Yeah. So like you drop out of high school in your like second freshman year, you're like 16, 3 years later, you have a kid.
I was 17. And then 2 years later,
2 years later, you have a
2 years later, like almost like right after I had moved out of high school, I ended up dating my kid's mom, and we got she got pregnant. We were broken up. I was like in a band. I was playing music and doing my thing. I will never forget that.
Which instrument?
I'm a vocalist.
Oh, but dope. All right, so like so you were immediately like, yo, we got to get this black dude in here as our lead singer. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, I like me and my bud Jeff. We started the band. It was called Span the Sky. If you look hard enough, you can find us on YouTube. The videos are very bad.
Yeah, I was like, yo, that's a dope ass name. Like,
right?
Yeah,
man. We weren't great. We were like a melodic, like hardcore band.
Yeah.
We have nothing recorded.
I used to play like acoustic shows, folk music, and like different shit like that.
I love folk. I like folk punk and like folk
Shaky Graves,
music,
like just different shit like that.
Like Nate. Somebody like corrected me the other day. I was always calling Nathaniel Ratcliffe, and apparently it's like Ratliff or it's pronounced differently.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, dude. If you like. If you get a chance, check out Nathaniel. I don't remember how to pronounce his name. It's Ratcliffe. Like it's Rate.
Close enough. Like
his shit is so good. I love that shit. And but So like we had just played a show. I was on my way home. I get a text. We need to talk. And I'm like, oh, here we fucking go. And so I show up at her apartment, and she like pulls me into a room, and she's like, I'm pregnant. I'm like, you're lying. I hope. Because I'm like, I really want to keep like being a shitty person and
being in a bad I want to continue to live this lifestyle. Like I really don't think that I'm ready to like stop doing this.
Yep. And I go look in the bathroom. There's a pregnancy test. She's totally pregnant. And I was like, all right, well, I gotta stop everything I'm fucking doing now and be a dad. And I did, which was the best decision I'd ever made, because I don't know what the fuck I was doing
prior to. I can definitely understand that. Like I hear a lot of kids. I hear kids change a lot of shit.
Oh yeah. Especially like it was weird because I had like this like as a parent, but like I had just like instant connection with my son. Like I was like, and we still have like a really like strong bond.
That's fucking fantastic. Like fatherhood, stand up.
Oh yeah, even though they don't live with me, I get them every other weekend. We have this like really strong bond. But like the crazy thing is this is gonna trip you out.
Oh,
so, a year and a half ish later, 2 years later.
Okay.
My kid's mom, or my girlfriend at the time, I refuse to call her my baby mama. She gets on my nerves, but I refuse to call her my baby mama. It just does not.
It's not the term. It doesn't fit.
No. We'll say it to each other jokingly. Like she'll call. She's like, "What up, baby daddy?" And but I like to like refer to her in a conversation as my baby. I like it.
Just not. It doesn't fit. I got you.
She's been feeling weird, like, and she's like I was saying like earlier, she's like real tall. She's like 6'6", 6'1", something like that.
Okay.
She's like she doesn't like the way like me describe her like this, but I don't know another way to describe. She's like real stocky.
Okay. Stocky is not necessarily on the list of like compliment.
I don't know like,
but she got a build. She got a build. Like she definitely like this
and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. Like,
absolutely not. Like I know what you mean. It's like it's like there's if you're 6'1" as a woman, like there's definitely room to be stocky.
Right. And like she's been feeling weird and stuff, and like we can't really figure out what it is. So she's like, maybe you're pregnant. So she takes a pregnancy test, negative.
Okay.
and she's still having a period, type of thing.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to figure out like what's wrong. And so I remember she was laying on the couch and she was just like, and like her stomach was moving. It was like, bro. I was like, what is happening right now? But in the back of it, like we were actually kind of like in the process of like talking about breaking up because I was a piece of shit like person. Like
I understand. I definitely have been there. Like
I wasn't being a very good like father. I wasn't being like a good boyfriend. Like I was trying to like go back to my old life. Yeah. And it wasn't gonna look for me.
I can do
and
both.
Like, yeah, it's like I don't know what my deal was. And so like I'm like, man, I really hope you're not pregnant. Because like one kid, like being separated, having one kid is like that'll be easy, but like two kids, like, and then separating, like, and then having another kid, like, I don't know, man, this is so bad.
Yeah.
So she just so happened to have like her a checkup, like an OBG. So she goes to the OBG and she calls me and she's crying.
Oh,
and I'm
God.
like, what's going on? She's like, I am pregnant. And I was like, oh. Ooh. I was like, okay, well, how long do we have? Like, how far along are you? She's like, Gary, we have to pack now.
Oh, fuck.
I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I will have this baby any day now. And I was like, what? I was like, what you mean? We're supposed to have 9 months. What you mean?
Hey, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah, she had been pregnant for the last like 9 months and we had no idea. She was not showing like
she was on a period, like
which was concerning because I was like no prenatal, no vitamins or nothing. I was like, man, this baby's not gonna make it, or
this can be rough. Like it could be problems, complications, like
and she had natural birth. Baby came out perfectly fine, except she is sassy as fuck at 10 years old. And like, well, she's not. She makes 10 in May, but
blessing all the same, all that good shit, you know.
Yeah, we had another baby. We ended up breaking up like a few months later, but it all worked out. But it was just crazy, you know.
Yeah, like just looking up and be like, oh wow, like I'm gonna be a dad. I mean, a dad times 2, like in just a little.
And no time to prepare. Like we had made a post on Facebook of like, apparently we're having another baby, and like people started donating like diapers and stuff like that.
The usual shit.
It was the crazy thing is like having kids is not like easy, but between the two, my daughter was way more chill than my son was. She was a lot easy. She was like slightly easier baby. Like she went to sleep when she was supposed to. As a matter of fact, she slept too much. And that's even today. She'll be like playing Xbox or like next thing you know, she's
knocked the fuck out.
Passed out. And she like no complications with milk or anything like that. She was just like like a super happy baby.
That's fucking beautiful.
Had fun. Oh, it was awesome. And she's adorable. And now she's like sassy. Okay, like the story I told earlier where she's like, well, maybe you should have a baby. That's what she said.
Like straight out of her mouth.
Yes. She was like, well, maybe you should have had sex with my mom. How about that?
How about that, sir?
I was so taken aback. I was like, I don't even know what to say. Just get away from me, please.
Who are you little monster? Like, yo. So and to kind of like bring it on home. So as a father, right, at this point you've got like 12, 11 years, like to kind of like deal with your children, different things like that. How do you relate to, because I'm figuring their mother's white, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Got you. So they've got to live in both worlds. They got to live like half and half. How are you like preparing them for the type of things you go through? Because like your bullying went to the extent where it was like, yo, no, I'm not even gonna go finish school type shit. Like I was lucky enough, like being where I was, like it was a big melting pot. So even the racism and bullshit that I received, like I was still able to go and knock out college, like school, and even like say, oh, I've got college perspectives. Like, how are you like dealing with your children as they're getting to these ages where like this stuff is becoming more prevalent? And I guess it's a different time, and like absolutely they're probably not going through the same things, but like are you prepping them? Are you giving them information about like what you went through like as a kid?
Right. Yeah. So I try not to give them too much information because they get scared.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I noticed that because they more so my son is very empathetic.
Okay.
He is a hardcore empath. He cares a lot about people and like whether he did something wrong, he hurt somebody's feelings. Like he's like, I need to make it right.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that if I have friends, I want them to be comfortable, and things like that.
Okay.
I want them, to feel safe. If I don't like them, then I won't fuck with them. Like,
but he's got that discernment already. But like at the same time, he's very much an empath. Likes to please as much as he can.
Right. Which I think that's gonna be his like, not downfall is not the right.
Absolutely
word,
not.
like,
You never want.
I'm a people pleaser too.
Yeah,
to a fault.
That's me for sure. But that's gonna be like a negative trait that possibly can pop up, or excuse me, that trait can be used negatively in his life.
Right. But I try to, because like I'm still trying to inform myself on certain things because like I'm not educated as much as most people, especially when it comes to like politics and I'm not eloquent when it comes to that. I think it's a
mental thing, like a
mental thing, right? Because if I'm put on the spot to do so, I will forget. I will it will just go away.
Yeah,
and I just don't receive things like normal people do.
Okay,
gotcha. So I try and educate them on things that I know that they're going to see a lot, like Blue Lives Matter and things like that. Because we were driving, I picked them up from school, and there was this big ass like Blue Lives Matter thing on the back of this dude's car, and like a bunch of others. I can't remember, but there was a bunch of other stuff that was blatantly like antagonistic.
Yeah,
And he had asked about it, and so I was explaining like how it is basically a one antagonistic and two a direct like
attack, like attack or like
insult, like to Black Lives Matter and what that meant.
Okay, got you. Like a counter, like an antagonist, like to Black Lives.
Right. And it's less about like I actually believe that like cops' lives matter because like they're not like a cop is a job. You can always quit your fucking job.
Exactly.
And like
still
not
like
I can't quit being black.
Yeah. Exactly. Like this is the thing where you chose to make this like your profession, right? And whether or not that's your life or whether or not that's who you are, right, it is something that's up in the air and very like, hey, like this is your opinion, like you could definitely quit this job and decide to do something else. Go be a pro bono lawyer because you know the law at this point. Like there's a lot of options.
And so like I just knowing their personality and how things are, I think they're going to be fine because like unlike their dad, they don't mind speaking like
they're outspoken, like they're extroverted a little bit more, or like telling them how like they feel. They're very introverted, but once they're like if they're uncomfortable, they will speak up. Yeah, like you're making me uncomfortable, like. Especially my daughter. My daughter is more outspoken. Like she's more like, I might hurt your feelings. I really don't want to because it's going to hurt me if I do it. But I might hurt. I might hurt your feelings, because you're pushing me now. Yeah. But unless it's somebody in the family, then she's like, I'm just gonna take it because I don't want to hurt their feelings or I don't want to get in trouble. I was like, no. Say these things. Say those things. Like I get with my mom because my mom's very intimidating. Okay.
So I kind of have to step in as like, hey, Harper doesn't like when you do this, or Harper doesn't like when you talk to her like this, and she gets offended. She's like, well,
that's a child, and like like in any case, like, they should understand.
But then she starts to like kind of get it too. She's like, well, all right, well, I'll talk to her about it. I was like, oh, okay.
Sure. I guess you can go ahead and try. Like, but so that's your mother. So like, you're already you've grown up with that domineering personality that she has, and so like for you, it becomes like, yo, grandma don't mean it like this. Like,
like so I think they have parts of their personality is like the part like maybe from their mom, where they like they can kind of say how they feel, unless but not in a way that like they're attacking people or bullying anybody because they care too much about people to do it, but they're like, I care about me.
You like, so they actually have like a sense of self when it comes to that kind of thing, because what I'll say about me when I have interactions with individuals is that like I'm a super people pleaser. I definitely want to make sure that like what I'm coming off to anybody, like no one's uncomfortable in any situation, but I have no qualms with being made uncomfortable. Like if someone has an issue or something like that, or like I will typically try to take responsibility for that rather than putting my own feelings or thought process into that and saying like, yo, like I get it that you're offended, or I get it that you have a problem, but like also this is what I'm feeling, or this is what made me uncomfortable and made me react that way. That's really dope to like that they have that. Like,
yeah, I don't, because like whenever I get to that point, it's already too late. I'm already like too mad. Yeah, I'm already like I'm mad, I'm upset, and I'm going to say something that I'm going to regret later. But right now, I'm beyond
beyond normal empathy and sympathy. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you.
Yeah, and now I want you to know what's up. Now, what, like, am I going to act on that and like in any type of way? No, probably not. I probably like, I want this to be over, but like, I want you to know, like, I'm gonna say some shit that's gonna. I want to hurt you.
Yeah, verbally. exactly.
Now,
like,
I also want this to be over.
Yeah, I'm gonna exit this situation as quickly as possible, but on the way out, like I'm definitely gonna go ahead and like knock some shit over. I'm gonna tell you how the fuck I feel. Whereas your children are probably like the type of people that like before it escalates to, oh, I'm too angry to rationally speak, like I'm gonna tell you like, yo, like I'm uncomfortable, which is fantastic, because that ability to stand up for yourself is something that I feel like a lot of us as like tokens, blurs, people that live in this like fringe community don't necessarily have, right? You're kind of placed on the you're put in this circle where like individuals that don't like white people, I'll just say it, like where white people are going to put you in a box and say like, oh, you're disenfranchised, yada yada, but you're also a thug and like you don't necessarily want to make a change. And then black people are going to put you on a situation where it's like, oh, you choose to act better than us, like you choose to like do things like outside of where like I'm outraged, I'm having problems, I'm having issues at home, that I choose to like use violence or use like negative feelings to emote, and you're doing something different. Like
in those situations, it sucks because we don't have anybody on our side at this point.
Absolutely not. Your own people, like your own people, the people that you're choosing to like kind of like associate with during that time frame, you're kind of left on your own to make these emotional decisions to figure out how to operate in this world, because like you're different. And
I think that's why I like, it's hard for me to stick up for myself, because I always, when I did, I was always, but no one was on my side. Nobody stood up for me. And I couldn't really stand up for myself, because like, what am I going to do? I don't know if I can fight. The only 2 times that I've been in a physical altercation, I was surprised.
Yeah, and so like, it wasn't a situation of like, I can immediately defend myself. I've got this triumphant moment. Like, I got that. I was lucky enough to like, I just took the opportunity. Like, my father was the person that like said, hey, like, look, when I was like 6 and my brother was like 4, we were like, my dad took us everywhere we went. Like, everywhere he went, we went. And so like he would go like hang out, drink, like play dominoes, like play cards at different friends' houses.
Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah, so like we would go and like we were out at one time, like out in the hood, and we're just like having a good time at someone else's house. He's inside, we're outside on a trampoline. Their kids get home from school. Like, we're too young to really like even be at school at that time. Their kids get home from school and they get on a trampoline and they're kicking our ass. Like, my brother's the type of guy that's like, oh, this is a bad situation, I'm leaving. Me, I'm like, oh, everybody's having a good time. We're all enjoying each other's company. So I'm like hanging out on a trampoline. They're kicking my ass. My dad keeps hearing like these like impact noises and like these like soft whimpers and shit. So he comes outside, he looks and he's like, I'm getting my ass kicked. He like calls me off the trampoline. He's like, hey, they're not playing with you. This isn't Power Rangers like at the house with your
Yeah.
brother. Like they're
trying to hurt you.
Exactly. They're really out here fucking you up. And the next time one of them puts their hands on you, I need you to like fucking, you need to do something. Otherwise, like when I get home, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like you've got to do something. You're not being like, this is not fun time. This is not playtime. So I'm like, whatever, Dad, you're being crazy. I get back on the trampoline and this kid like socks me, like just comes from downtown, and I'm like, oh shit, this really fucking hurts.
That hurt.
It's like, and in that
real.
moment, I was like, oh yeah, Dad was right. And so I just go, I ballistic and started just like swinging. And so I've got this kid on the ground. I'm fucking his brother. Like, it's a very crazy time. And this woman comes out and she's like screaming, like, "Oh my God, get off my kids and get off my son!" My dad's like, "Your kids have been out here fucking my child up for like the last like 30 minutes." Like, absolutely not. He gets me. He's like, "Junior, get in the fucking car." Like, he gets me and my brother. Like, we're going home. We didn't get in trouble, but at that moment, he told me, he was like, "There are people out here that don't want the best for you. You and your brother, like, you're at home, like hanging out, playing and stuff like that. But like, there are individuals out here that will truly hurt you, and
for no reason."
Exactly. Save for the fact that you are different. Save for the fact that you are like, just if you're having a good time, some people don't want you to see you fucking happy, and they will choose violence to like fuck you up. So in that moment, I was like, oh, okay, I got you. And I learned, like, at that point, I was like, okay, well, there's a level to this shit. And so after that, I did. Like, there were moments where absolutely I was snuck and surprised, but I got paranoid enough to where I was like, oh no, like I've got to do something like absolutely crazy to like make people step off.
That's me now. I am paranoid as fuck, especially like with my wife, because she's so naive. So we've had so many like close calls with her, but I'm so paranoid now that like I don't trust nobody.
No, I get you. Like people all around, like sketchy shit. Like I get it.
Oh,
totally.
Like my neighbors to the left, like to one side of me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good people.
Decent people. Yeah. No, I get what you mean, but like there's some sketchy shit.
He might be a plug.
Yeah, indeed.
Like whatever.
Oh, thank God you smoke. Like I was like, I didn't know whether or not I smoke like, heavy.
He's not mine.
Yeah.
Like
no, I get what you mean, but like you said the words plug, and I was like, yes.
Yeah. I get it. I know, like, bro, it's good. Like you drive a Camaro. Like
anxiety.
You drive a Camaro. Everybody knows. Like,
yes.
is what you mean. But we don't like. I don't like talk like where I moved from.
Yeah.
You know, living in apartments and stuff like that. I don't like talking. Like they desensitized me to neighbors. Like they broke into my house, stole my Xbox type of thing.
Shit.
Like I don't trust nobody. And then my other neighbors are like they're white. They're like super like, yo, come over. We're cooking. Come on over.
Yeah, and very friendly, but like
we did it. Yeah, we did it one time. And somebody there was trying to kidnap and rape my wife.
Whoa, trafficking shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, they were trying to send me home, like get me wasted.
Yeah,
and send me home.
Like he's like, oh
and
yeah,
then
she can
take
stay.
her. Like not even like hiding it. He was like, why don't you go ahead and go home? Because I was like, I'm trying to go home. My wife is plastered. My wife had already been there for a little while. I was working. She'd already been. She
went over. Like,
I go
earlier.
walk over. Yeah, I walk over. She's wasted. And so I hang out for a little bit, and I'm like, bad vibes. Yeah. And so I'm like, hey babe, you ready to go? And she's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, all right, y'all have a good night. You know, we're gonna go back home. They're like, no, you can't leave.
Whoa.
And they're like, you're like, your wife's having a great time. Why are y'all trying to leave? She was like, well, you know, it's getting late. Like whatever. Oh, it's 9. I'm like, bro. Like I'm tired. I just got off of work. I'm ready to relax, type of thing. And it's like, they're like, well, why don't you leave her here? You go home, and whenever she's ready to come home, she'll come home. And I'm like, nah, I'm out. Like, come on, girl. I was like, come on, Charlie. We're going.
We're out of here,
bro. And she was like, we walked through the door, we closed the door, and she immediately turned around before we even go anywhere. And she's like, let's never, ever do that again. And I was like, okay. She's like, did you get like really rapey vibes from? I was like, yes.
And
she's absolutely. Like, okay. And so like, they do the hey neighbor. I'm like, hey, how's it going? But as for that's it. And like I know they're offended. Like they're like, why don't they come? Because they would like text us and stuff like, hey, we're doing this with the kids and blah blah blah. And I'm like, nah, I'm kind of doing this.
Absolutely not. No, bro. Fool me once, man. Fool me once. Fuck that shit. So I definitely get that vibe. I know exactly what you mean. I've learned, like, because of the fact I rolled the dice and got 2 crackhead grandfathers. So, like, I'm used to it. Like, pretty used to it. Like, as far as it goes. Like, my grandpa has stole every bike I've ever, like, every bike I've had from the time that I was, like, older than, like, 6 till I was, like, 16. And he would, like, always, like, you steal it right around, like, summertime. And then, like, Christmas.
When you need it.
Exactly. Christmas, I get a new bike. I ride a bike all through winter. And then the summertime again, like, it gets stolen. Like, it never failed. He was buying these bikes for us on collateral. Like we were leasing the bikes for a little bit. And
that's some real life hood shit though. Like you buy the bike, give it to your grandkid for collateral. When you need it, you just go pick it up and be like, I don't know what happened to it, man. Somebody got it. Like, but we know you steal it. Like we got to get up to go to the bus, and we see you grab it. You ride it.
Exactly. And like we know you're gonna go sell it for crack. Like it's okay, Grandpa. You just stop buying us bikes. Like we don't.
Just stop buying the bikes and just go get the crack.
Keep the money for the crack, bro. Like this exchange, so that I didn't even agree to. So like, I've dealt with those vibes for a very long time, and to agree, it's almost like homie to me. So like having neighbors that like will interrupt a fucking podcast or like a talk that knock into like, yo, we just need dish soap and shit like that, almost makes me feel at home. It's when motherfuckers get to like riding by real slow that like really fucks with me. I'm like, hey.
They be loud. They be so loud outside.
Yes, sir.
That was my problem. That was my problem in my last apartment. The dude downstairs like lived below us. He had to be like my dad's age. He was like probably like maybe older, like 60, but still, boy, you swear to God, he was 20 years old. Like
partying all the fucking time,
like dressing like he was like 20, talking like he like, you know, I can't talk a 30-year-old guy talking about I'm emo and like, you know, pretty much. I get like whatever, but no, this was different. This was very different. Like you can't like really trying to like I can't even like really describe. Like he really, really wanted to look like a young man, but you old. Like he was an old dude.
You old motherfucker. You
old school. Yes. And this dude, like, we had just moved in, and it is like 7 o'clock in the morning. My man is outside washing his car, and just. And I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, booming music.
Like 218s, like just like.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm like, I want to go talk, like say something, but I'm like,
exactly. It's like, hey, look, this the moments where you're like snitched on homie with the gun just start playing back in your head. And like, do I really?
And you obviously been living here, like nobody else is bothered by it. You've been living here for a long time.
And for me to come up as another brother and just be like, yo, you're being too goddamn loud. This could easily end up bad. Like,
yep.
Yeah.
Like, so I just dealt with it. And then like I parked at like one space to the right of me, and he came knocking on the door. He was like, yeah, you can't park there.
What the fuck?
I was like, it's right in front of my house. It's not even anywhere near your apartment. It's right in front of my apartment. Why can't I park here?
On top of that, I thought we all had an understanding. You're loud as fuck and I can do what I want. Like, what the shit? Like,
yes. And he was like, nah, just don't. Like, I run this. I'm like, bruh.
Nah, get the fuck out of here. Nah, like, as soon as the motherfucker said, yeah, I run this, I'm like, no, absolutely. Get the fuck out of here. Like, bruh, all right,
but he had
cool.
He had everybody in the complex scared, though. This old ass dude. And I was just like, then something's not right. Then I'm like, I'm just not gonna park there. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I just sometimes it's way better to just go with the fucking flow than to cause like a whole bunch of bullshit problems.
And then after we move, like a few months later, this dude gets arrested. He's in the news, arrested for shooting his nephew.
Damn.
Yeah, so I was like, probably. I was like, it's probably a good call. I didn't say shit.
glad I'm got here. This guy didn't seem like he had everything going on.
Nope, I was like, no, I was probably the best. I didn't say shit.
Fuck that. Absolutely not. Shit. So, yo, I am so grateful, so thankful that you've like taken time out of your day to like sit down and talk with me. This has been fantastic. Like, yo, chopping up with you has been great. Like, it was Soul Brothers, absolutely. Like, I was like, damn, like I really relate. Like, the experience is universal. I love that shit. Like, everybody got hood stories. Everybody got like shit that's wild.
Yeah. no matter how nerdy you are, no matter how like into like the alternative, like you still live that life.
Exactly. You still got neighbors that are fucking wild. You still got to like look over your shoulder every now and then, like just in case your neighbors, like your other neighbors, decide they're gonna rape your wife. Also, you know, like no fucking discounting rape or anything like that.
No, that was the vibe I got, and I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Yeah, no, like fuck that.
In closing, I gotta ask, like, is there any advice that you give to young alt black people, young alt black teens, you adults that like you feel like you've garnered over the year that you like, hey, look, in passing words or anything like that, like just words of encouragement or maybe like just general advice? You got anything?
Cause like it's crazy because I feel like the teens kind of got it. Like they're doing whatever the fuck they want.
Hell yeah! Shout out Gen Z.
I think. Oh yeah, like Gen Z doing whatever the fuck they don't give a fuck, and that's kind of part of the like what made me a little more comfortable with being me. I'm like, well, shit. You know what? Why am I not doing it? Like,
yeah, the motherfuckers that are gonna run the world in 20 years. They seem pretty cool. Like, so like,
yeah, let me get good with them. Fuck.
Yeah. Exactly.
I would say my advice is like really honestly is that like you really not as alone as you really think, even if you're like an adult. Like you really gotta find your homies out there, but like live your truth.
Yes,
live
sir.
Your truth. Like who you really feel like you're like. No matter how weird it is, no matter how weird you are or what you're into, it's literally not as weird as you think. It's fucking normal. Be who you want to be and go to fucking therapy. And I don't know why that rhymed, but it's
goddamn right.
Heal your inner child. Be who you really want. No matter who. If you want to be a fucking Power Ranger, you be a Power Ranger. Do that shit. Like be who you want to be, but also go to therapy and like heal from those generational traumas. Because we got it. No matter what, like we got them.
We've look, most of us elder millennials, younger millennials, we definitely have these motherfucking issues and problems.
Especially the men. We can't show emotion. We can't cry. Nope. We can't like I'm sitting here, my nails are painted and like whatever, you know.
Yeah,
that was the.
Couldn't do that shit 10 years ago. You absolutely could not have.
No, I did it in high school with Sharpies, and like my teacher was like, "You shouldn't do that." But like be who you really like you want to be. Heal your inner child. Be that person. Feel those emotions. You want to be sad. You want to be like super happy. You want to say, "Hey, how's it going?" Whatever. Do that. But like. Heal, like if you have kids or you plan on having kids or whatever, like heal that inner child so that you can like be that
absolutely the best possible parent as possible. Like because healing your inner child, a lot of us were robbed of that childhood. A lot of us did not get a chance to live that. It grew up very quickly, and putting your child through that is one of the worst things. Well, not one of the worst things, but like absolutely unbeneficial to that person's growth because you're going to set them back the same way that you were. Like
right. Because I'm grateful that or lucky that I can I did have kids really young, so I relate to my kids. Like I know the memes, I know the whatever. But
absolutely, you grew, you got to grow. You got a chance to like your early adult life was also spent like raising them, and so like you're in touch with that same process. And I feel like that's what a lot of us got a chance to like experience young parents, right? But the crazy thing was that they were still dealing with their emotional traumas and dramas that were going on prior to being 80s babies and different shit like that. Like that's a fucked up mental to like come through and raise
it makes you it makes you think like as a young person, like if you look at where you are and how you think at your age and look back at your parents at their, because I think where the age I am now is about when my parents had me, if I remember right.
Got you.
So it's like looking back, like and I was the last kid.
Yeah.
So like me mentally where I'm at, I'm still a kid to like.
Fuck yeah, no,
really,
absolutely, dude. I still
feel like a kid. I'm in my second generation of my 20s.
Yes, sir.
And it's like, damn, y'all are really trying to raise 4 kids as children. I'm trying to raise 2, and I'm like, I need y'all help.
Yo, let me know. Give me some fucking real advice, because this shit. Is there an instruction manual? Did somebody like print off like a PDF or something like that I can get for these kids? Like,
Jesus, but live your truth.
Heal that inner child.
Be who you want to be. Heal that. That's so important. I'm doing that now. Like being who, like that, like healing my inner child and really being comfortable with, like, still being a kid, still liking toys, and still like going backwards of like.
Indulging
I'm gonna start
in all these things.
Indulging in toys again, and like Gundam, and like, not feeling bad about playing video games. And here's this is another important one. This is my last one.
Yeah, absolutely. Give it up.
And find a partner who, see, that's the mental thing.
No,
like,
I understand.
Okay,
like he's like, as soon as you was like, hey, I got it. This is something important to say. Like, yeah.
Like you're having a not only as a partner that's like supportive and loves you and things like that, but it is so important to find a partner that shares the same interests as you.
Okay, got you. Like
but
somebody attuned to you, like general.
Right, but even if they don't share the same interests as you, if they're willing to put in like
the effort
to the effort or learn, because that like. My wife and I have like similar interests, but there are some things where she's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
she's younger than me. She's 6 years younger than I am. So there's stuff that I grew up with.
My girl's 5 years younger than me, so I completely get it.
So
like,
so like the N64, like our games that are TV shows that are. Dude, this is relevant, but it's really real quick. This is really funny.
Speak on it,
because you'll probably remember this.
Right.
Do you remember the Donkey Kong animated show?
Absolutely, bro. Yes. Okay. Toon Disney.
Okay.
Like.
Yes. So we are watching Let's Play of Dino Crisis, because I never got a chance to play Dino Crisis.
Yes, fucking great game. Still need to play that.
So one of the characters, Rick, is a black dude in the game. I was listening to his voice and I was like, why does this motherfucker sound so familiar? He was Donkey Kong in that animated series.
Oh shit. Okay, got you.
That's why. And I was, and when I realized, because I was telling to my wife, I was like, why does he sound so familiar? And she's like, I don't know. Let me look him up. She looks him up. She's like, I was like, look up his IMDb. What is he in? She started naming stuff and she was like, Donkey Kong. I was like, wait.
Whoa.
I was like, he's Donkey Kong in the animated series. That man has a beautiful singing voice. And I was like, and so I just started going off about the Donkey Kong and this is her. Just listening, just like she didn't know there was a Donkey Kong animated series. So we pulled up the video of like them singing, and then I was like, why are the characters black? Why are the voice actors for these characters black? Why is Trixie black?
Yeah, no.
Like why does she? And I was like, wait a minute, and then my camera just shut off.
Oh, you're good.
And then it turned into a whole thing. But she loved, even though it's like some of the stuff that she misses, she would sit there and listen to me just like go off about stuff that I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this cartoon.
Absolutely.
And just like info dump. But she loves that shit. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I know that's enough. She's like, no.
Yes,
she's like,
I love it.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, my girl is the same way. Like, is willing to be
important.
That sponge for like all my shit. And then also has all of her own things that she's completely willing to like try to get me on. I would never have touched a shoujo or anything like that slice of life anime had she not just been like, no, you have to check this out. Like, let's watch together, and like experiencing it through her eyes, and also like building from there. Like my own personal interest, I was like, oh shit, this is fantastic. So like finding a partner that is willing to not only indulge you in your interest, but is willing to try to like get you into theirs will
Yeah.
benefit you so much, because being and I'll kind of spin that a little bit, being on that fringe society, right? You spend so much time having people tell you that your interests are boring, they're lame, nobody gives a fuck about that, like
they're weird.
Yeah, you're a fucking
they're
weirdo
weird
for liking this shit. And having somebody that's completely ready to like dive in there with you, who's ready to listen to you, even when they don't give a flying fuck about what the fuck is going on.
But they see how passionate you are about it, and they love it.
It's so very validating and good for the soul in general.
It really, really
like
is.
that. Like, honestly, trying to cultivate a relationship without that is almost detrimental, man. Like, it's almost detrimental, because you end up hiding things. You end up with like closet feelings.
You end up not expressing like who you really are to that person. So they have this whole section of who you are that they haven't even met yet.
Yeah, that they don't even know. Like,
yeah, because you think they won't accept that, and then when it comes out and they're like, "Oh my god, you're a furry!" I've
been a furry this whole time. I've wanted you to. I've wanted you to put on that wolf costume and go to town. Like,
yeah. And then now you have this whole new level of
connection,
of your
vibe. Like,
relationship.
yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, so it's like finding someone who is like has similar interests is good, but don't sell yourself short by like not somebody who may not have, because you don't fucking know.
Exactly. Like, if you don't be afraid to share shit with you, because you never know what that individual is completely ready to accept or anything like that. Like, being afraid of the person that you are, not living that true self, like living your truth or anything like that, can really stunt your growth in relationships, in jobs, in day-to-day life. Like, if you're blurred, like, wear that shit loud and proud, because you never know who you're gonna run up on. Like, who's like, oh, yo, I definitely vibe with that. Because even in high school, like growing up in general, like dealing with people, you find out that people like some of the same shit you like, or some of the shit that they like you didn't even know you were going to like. Like, I didn't get into like rock music until my buddy was like, yo, Linkin Park. Like,
that was everybody's gateway drug. It definitely was mine.
Like, I was like Chester Benningfield, Mike Shinoda, like they were speaking for a lot of individuals. And so, like, if you felt lost, it was great music to go like trap yourself into. So with all that said, man, I'm so happy to have you out here. Like, we've had I've really enjoyed the conversation. Like, I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. We've been talking for like 3 hours.
Exactly. Like, yeah. Like, I hope to have you back on, or if you've got anything that you're willing to collab on, like, definitely it's a yes for me. Like, you just let me know, because like,
I might actually.
Once I
have it fleshed out, I will probably hit you up. But I'm always down to
collab and different shit. Most def, bro. Like, thank you.
That's where I'm at right now. Is like I'm doing like I'm focusing a lot on collabs, so that they can inspire me of like what I'm gonna do next.
Most definitely, because like giving yourself that other perspective. No, I get it. Like, it's like once you hit a certain level, it's very difficult to say, okay, well, what's next? Because like you can plateau real easy, like out here.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I was like, have I plateaued?
Like, is this it?
Should I be doing something else? Yeah. So now I'm trying different things and like collaborating with other people, and that's how you really make friends. Like some really good friends and stuff too.
Absolutely, bro. So, so more collabs coming in the fucking future. Live your goddamn truth. Lots of like fucking knowledge put out here. I'm so again thankful for anybody that clicked this link, checked out the Well Spoken Token. You know you can get me on Instagram. You know you can get me on Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We all over the motherfucking world. My man Gary, like, this guy's got places everywhere. He's also on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Twitch. He's so many hats. It's incredible. Guys, this is a Well Spoken Token. I love each and every one of you. Love your goddamn selves. Have a fucking great day. I'm out of here. Gary, say bye to the people.
Later, y'all.
Bow.